Hello everyone, Kudus here. I want to show you how cold email is the sickest way to infinitely scale the number of clients that you have and also lower your customer acquisition cost to near zero, right? So I'm going to compare it to paid ads, which is a very effective scaling method for businesses. We use paid ads as well, but cold email is nonetheless the best way where you can actually increase the number of clients that you have while actively lowering the CAC. Right? And CAC is by far the most important metric in business. It's your customer acquisition cost. How much are you paying to acquire a customer, right? So we're going to, first of all, introduce this, understanding customer acquisition cost in relation to paid ads and cold email, right? So I'm going to give you a very simple example, predictable cost, right? Your investment in paid ads, for example, let's say it's $10,000, right? In ad spend, and you are paying $2,000 a pop to acquire a client, and your service costs $6K, right? So you're basically making, a 3x return on ad spend every time you close a client because your customer acquisition cost is $2K. You're spending $10K. That means you're collecting $30K. Okay. So for every $10K you put in, you get $30K. For every $20K you put, you get $60. For every $30, you get $90, etc. So scaling to acquire more clients, you need proportionally proportionally increase your investment, right? So if you want more clients, you need to spend more money on ads, and that hurts your profitability. And in the very beginning, mind you, to actually even get to $2,000 a pop customer acquisition cost, you have to spend a lot of money before that. Understand how funnels work, how ads work, all of that stuff works. It's very high risk, right? And at the same time, you're also, decreasing your profit margins because you're, no matter what, even at $90K, you're spending $30,000 on ads. This is not even including your operational expenses, your team expenses, and, fulfillment and all that, right? So your profit, although is good, but it can be maximized by using cold email. So we're going to talk about that. So as you can see, the fixed cost per acquisition for paid ads, like I said, $1,000 to acquire 10 clients. Acquiring 100 clients means you put 10K in, so the more money you put in, right? And this will not scale infinitely, and you'll have some point of failure after an investment threshold is reached. Because what happens is you cannot because if that was the case, then everybody would be trillionaires, right? If you could, go from $10,000 at 3x ROAS to $100,000 at 3x ROAS and $1 million at 3x ROAS, you would just be the richest man on earth because you could just put more money in and get 3x return. It's literally like it's like a glitch in the matrix, right? You're gonna keep making more money, but at some point your TAM is gonna get exhausted, right? Your total addressable market is going to get exhausted, right? And I want to show you a quick graph to basically explain to you, and it might look confusing at first, right? But I want to break this down very simply, and it's going to make a lot of sense. The customer acquisition cost, number of clients, profitability versus the investment you make in paid ads, right? And as you can see, in the beginning with paid ads, if you just focus on this blue line right here, right? The investment starts out very high. So with paid ads, your customer acquisition cost is going to shoot up. Let's say you have a $6,000 product, right? The $6,000 product that you sell, your customer acquisition cost is not going to be $2,000 right away. It might be $4,800 in the beginning, right? And then this means, with all of your expenses and operations and fulfillment, all that, you might actually be losing profit or breaking even at most after a certain period of time. And then you start increasing profit as as Google and Facebook, let's just, for example, use Facebook in this situation, Facebook collects its data, right? So there is a period, a hiatus where you have to basically wait for these ads to work, right? So the customer acquisition cost starts off very high, and then it decreases, and then it starts to regulate itself, and the investment becomes, pretty standard in the sense that, like I said, you're putting 30K in to get 90K out. But once you start to increase this investment, then your customer acquisition cost will start to spike, right? Because basically what happens is, you're putting so much money into something, and then after a certain point, Facebook's like, whoa, like we can't use your money for any other good reason, like any more good reason. We don't have enough data to run through. We don't know what to do with your money. So they want your money. So they're just going to give you higher cost in return. They're not going to be like, they still want the money nonetheless, right? But they're just going to give you worse results. And that's kind of where media buying comes in. And you have to understand customer acquisition cost versus how much your product costs, LTV, etc. Right? And as you can see, at this period in the beginning when you start ads, your profitability is going to be low. This is the profit line right here. And your profitability is going to be negative, and then it's increasing, right? Customer acquisition cost is decreasing. Okay, and then the number of clients is also increasing, and then after a certain point, this is the optimal range where profit is up, where number of clients is up. Your profit, profit line is obviously breached by the profitability line, meaning that you're profitable, and then your investment is pretty standard, where you're making a return on ad spend that is 3x, 4x, whatever it is, very fair. And then what ends up happening is that you increase this investment and you want to turn a $3 million company into a $20 million company, and then you realize, holy fuck, I can't do that, and then your number of clients starts to drop off astronomically low, and of course the profitability also drops off with it, right? So there is always a sweet spot, for a business, right? You can run a lean and mean business, for example, at $5 million because your ROAS is really good and your customer acquisition cost is very good, and your what you're selling at, your ticket and everything is amazing. But then when you scale to a $15 or $20 million company, you might still have the same profit margins, right? So it's actually, and a lot of times, it's actually better to have a $5 million business than a $15 million business if you're doing it, incorrectly. You don't want to scale up incorrectly. You might as well run a $5 million business. It's going to be, a more lean operation, and it's also just going to be, less headache to run. There's obviously not going to be any operational drag. So it's very, very important to understand this and understand how paid ads, as you put more of an investment in it, can actually hurt you. And then in the beginning, you're also risking. So to get to this optimal range, right, you still have to give it time. Right, so there's a lot of risk here. I'm going to show you how to actually make it so you can just lower this graph just drops off. So let's get back to the doc. So now we want to talk about reducing CAC with scaling benefits using cold email, okay? Cold email campaigns can dramatically reduce your CAC as you scale, right? And the reason why is because the initial investment is fixed, right? So and I'm not going to say fixed, right, to the point where, because you can technically, if you want to send more emails, it will incrementally, start to rise, but it's very nominal compared to paid ads, right? Or very minimal, I should say. So setup cost, initial investment includes email software, domains, and, some time. And if you have an assistant, this is not going to be a factor for you. For me, I personally love convenience and time, so I spend money on that kind of stuff, right? Lower costs. Once setup is complete, the ongoing costs are minimal compared to paid ads, right? So once it's imagine if you just made a one-time investment in paid ads and it got you clients forever. That would be amazing, right? But that's basically what cold email is, right? You make a one-time investment and you basically get clients. You can scale the amount of clients infinitely, right? Which is pretty awesome, and while incrementally increasing the cost. And I'm going to show you exactly that graph and how that works. So the initial investment, like I said, very straightforward. The decreasing CAC part comes in because of the fixed costs, right? You don't have to increase your ad spend or your marketing spend every single month. You might incrementally, like I said, increase it just a tad bit if you want to send more emails, but it's not going to be anywhere nearly as much as paid ads, right? So acquiring more clients does not significantly increase your costs. Sending emails to 100 leads per day is nearly the same as sending to 1,000 leads per day, and nearly the same as sending to 10,000 leads per day, believe it or not, right? And the economies of scale, as you acquire more clients, your CAC decreases, which is pretty awesome. I mean, imagine that, right? With paid ads, like I said, there is an optimal range where that can happen, but with cold email, as soon as you go from 1 to 3 clients to 5 to 10, your CAC is just dropping off, and it's ridiculous. You're going to see the graph, right? So, and I'm going to show you this analysis. This is the graph that we have for cold email. I'm going to show you exactly the CAC, number of clients, and profitability versus the investment with cold email. And it's a very clean graph, right? Because it makes so much sense that the profit line is here, right? The investment incrementally, it will minimally increase as you send more emails. But the best part is that when you start, and the customer acquisition cost is high in the beginning, right? You could say it's high. Technically, customer acquisition cost, for a couple of softwares is going to be like a couple $100, and you buy domains, which is going to be another couple $100, right? So, even if you're selling a $10,000 product, the customer acquisition cost is going to be standard and fixed for every single person that starts to do cold email, right? Because you only need 2 softwares, you only need a certain amount of domains. And like I said, this line right here, this purple line, which is the investment, might minimally increase as you want to send more emails and get more clients and scale your operation, right? But generally the CAC goes down. Holy moly, Jesus Christ, I don't know what just went on over there. But anyways, the CAC goes down, right? So like I said, the investment is minimal, the CAC goes down, and then the profitability goes up. So the profit line, right, as soon as you sign your first client, is basically, it's profitable, right? And that's the cool part, right? Because you're only spending $400, a couple $100 recurring for the softwares, and then you have a one-time, I should say a one-time yearly fee, an annual fee for the domains. So you have this reoccurring cost, at a couple $100, right? Which is, it's very easy to run. Your CAC goes down, your profit goes up, your number of clients goes up, and then this goes near zero. I mean, that's just how it works, right? Like the more clients you have, the more that CAC will lower itself, and then your investment will minimally increase, and the profit line will be broken as soon as you sign your first client. So it is the most efficient model when it comes to acquiring an infinite amount of clients without having to pay, astronomical amounts of money within paid ads, right? You can fix your CAC, actually lower your CAC as you sign more clients using cold email, instead of, having this range where you spend money on paid ads, increase your CAC for a little bit, then you find this optimal range after a certain amount of months, after you've already risked the amount of money. You don't even know if it's guaranteed to work if you haven't tested the funnel and tested the offer. And then after a certain point, you cannot infinitely scale because you have that, that total addressable market problem where you can invest more, but you can't just infinitely make more money. It's going to have a drop off, right? So that's kind of the the differences between the two. And in conclusion, both paid ads and cold email have their advantages. Of course, I advocate for cold email, but it is the most capital efficient way to scale your company without any external investment, and it's very, very affordable, very easy to do. If you want to learn more about cold email, you can sign up. Actually, you don't have to sign up. You just literally just click, and I have a free cold email crash course for you that you could just, go check out. There's 13 modules in there about how to get started. And you can also sign up to Inframail, where we allow you to host unlimited cold email inboxes at one flat price. So it basically means you can reach unlimited amount of clients. So like, subscribe, and if you have any questions, comment below. I hope this helped. And if you want access to this doc, I'll also leave a little link for it below. So yeah, like, and peace out. Subscribe. See ya.